We are back. We are live, and we're headed on a train back to the Bronx. Murph and I back in the Boogie Down versus. Oh wow, I screwed that. I screwed it up. I screwed it up. We're back. We're in City Field. I can't redo that intro, Murph. That just shows how the Yankees start is after the All-Star break, Murph, and how the series went versus the New York Mets. How you doing, Murph, after that intro?
Dude, that was a roller coaster of an intro. I was like,
Right?
what are we talking about? I mean, are we talking about tonight? I mean, technically, as we are recording, you're not wrong. They are in the Boogie Down
I'm
Bronx right
trying
now.
to focus on the good, man. Trying to focus.
Trying to focus on the good because this Mets series was a stinker, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I had zero expectations going in this series. I was kind of just hoping for a split. The moment I knew Herman was lined up to pitch against
We
Scherzer,
were at least
I'm
gonna
like,
lose.
that game, I'm chalking it up. That's an L, like
Yep.
plain and simple. You can do with that what you will, Yankee fans. That's just the honest truth. I chalked that game up pretty much from the rip. And then that game one, I was like, this is our chance to win. You know, Monty's kind of been Mr. Dependable for us all season. We've been giving him his flowers when he deserves it. Unfortunately, on this night, he deserves nothing but slurs thrown his way. Like this guy was lost on the mound today.
Very like when I mean like leaving pitches down the middle. Like he was leaving changeups down the middle.
Yeah, this first inning was who would have guessed that the first inning was the most electric inning of the game as the Yankees would jump off early. Judgy getting a hold. When Judgy and Rizzo went back to back in the first, I said, "Oh, dude, we're about to manhandle these guys."
I really thought,
dude, I got my hopes went from like to like, oh, dude, we're doing something special. Rizzo and Judgy are going back to back in the first. I'm like, oh, dude, buckle up, Mets fans. This is gonna be a rough one. And then little did I know that Monty would decide to just fall off a cliff, man. And unfortunately, he doesn't have good numbers against the Mets the last couple years. He's been kind of getting rocked by them. Last year, I think Lindor, most notably, ripped them a new one.
Yep.
And in this series, it was Alonso that just was impossible to get out from us. And it was the meat of the order that was doing all the damage for them. Monty's final stat line: 2 1/3, 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 2 home runs. He's now pitching to a 3.5, and he's very lucky. He records his 3rd loss of the year. He could have easily had that elevated had Boone decided just to leave him out to the dogs. And he was kind of fired up. You see, he was kind of mad getting yanked from this game.
I never saw that out of Monty, to be quite honest.
I was surprised. Doesn't make sense. It's like, dude, we're saving you, man. Like you're lost out here.
We're saving you. The embarrassment, the ERA, your stats, anything. We're saving you. Yeah. If anything, we're screwing us. You know.
Yeah, we screw us. Oh boy. You know, the bullpen kept it locked down though. You know, the bullpen gives up 1 run out of like what? How many innings did they have to cover?
They gave up the run in the last inning.
They had to cover like 6 innings, and they gave up a run in the last when it really didn't matter.
I'm coming back, dude. Doing his like
Ron looks mean, dude. He looks mean. He looks nasty. I really like what I see out of him. Loaiza had a really solid inning too. Chapman, a solid inning out of him.
He's not back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not putting stock in this until he repeats it. You know, I need consistent.
Loaiza's second good start. Good.
Loaiza's starting to piece it together, I think. Yeah. Which is really good. Wandy had a really good outing as well. And then Abreu, man, what can you say, man? I mean, it is what it is. He gives up 3 hits. He gets 2 strikeouts. He had an opportunity. Fortunately, got away. And, he gives up a run. Not the end of the world. I don't really care. This game was pretty much out of reach from the beginning because the boys decided to go 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
Home runs can only win you so many ball games. No matter how many home runs as a team you will hit, you still need to score. You need to get hits with guys on base. No matter what, even if they're on first, you have to drive in runs. You can do it. Yeah. They've done it in the past. They can do it again, especially against this Mets team. They're not. I'm sorry, Mets fans. I'm really not that afraid of you guys.
I think they're a very good team. But I do think there are some clear holes that they need to address. And I think one of those is the lack of power. Like, if you really look at this lineup, it's really only Alonso supplying a lot of the power. And the offense goes where Alonso goes. So if Alonso's on having a night like this, they're a tough team to beat.
With it.
They go along with him. He's kind of like the heart of this team, if you will.
That's what I'm just saying. Like that's what I meant when I'm just like,
yeah.
They're not 1 through 9. I'm not afraid of. It's when one guy gets going, then they're a good team.
Yeah, it's like literally they're top 4 guys. When those top 4 really start eating, like they're going to be a formidable team for sure. Because the rest of the guys are just going to do a job. And speaking of do a job, like Escobar, he does a job. Like he hurts us bad in that first. He gets that 2-run shot, and I had a feeling he's going to do it too, man. Yeah, was it a 2-run? Yeah, it was a 2-run shot, right?
Yeah.
Escobar in the first. Yeah. I didn't feel good about that at bat, and sure enough, he gets us pretty bad. And they pretty much don't look back. I mean, their pitching was pretty much lights out from there. Walker, he has himself a solid start. Ottavino, a little bit of payback, and then Diaz, he gets the 4 strikeout save, 22nd of the year. Diaz is the real deal this year for sure. He's just been he's been one of the top closers in the game. Most notable thing for me, the fact that we pinch hit Joey Gallo, man.
For Isaac Palefa. A man who already had 2 hits on the night.
And he's on like a 15-game hitting streak or something like that. Yeah. Like, that just shows you they have no respect for IKF, in my opinion. Yes. Like, I don't think enough people are talking about this. They decided to pinch hit for IKF. He's 2 for 3. He's batting .276. And they said, let me put the worst player in the game. Quite literally. I think Joey Gallo is right now the worst player in the game.
He's not. Continue. Sorry.
He's quite literally one of the worst players in the game. And they decided to pinch hit for IKF in that situation, which makes no sense. I guess the thought process was he could go face Ottavino and maybe do something. They immediately counter move. Buck goes, no. And Diaz is coming in. And who would have thought that the guy who strikes out like half the batters he faces was going to have a field day with Joey Gallo, who strikes out half the time he walks up to the dish, Like,
Judge has after this game, there was released stat that Judge had at the time 38 home runs or whatever, 37, 38 home runs. And Joey Gallo has 37 base hits.
Yeah.
Or hits on the season.
Yeah.
That is, again, when you're Gallo doesn't even do the defensive thing right. If he was, here to play defense,
He's nothing. I mean, he's quite literally nothing. Like, there's no point in throwing him out there anymore. Like, and they're actively shopping him. For those of you who don't know, apparently there is some traction with potentially the Padres and the Rangers. It just depends on what the whole Soto thing looks like and if he's even going to get moved, which at this point, it's still like up in the air. Every day it seems like they're changing, like, the Cards are the front runners. At one point the Yankees were, and then
yesterday the Yankees were. Today it was the Giants.
It was the Cards, then it was I think it was the Giants, and now it's the Padres.
It's ridiculous. It's every day
is changing who the front runners are.
Now the Yankees are out of it,
I don't know if they're out of it.
No, I got a headline today that said the Yankees were out of it.
Really? I thought it wasn't official. I thought they were just like kind of one of the backup options, if you were.
Yeah.
They're not the front runners for sure.
The Giants are gonna have to give up their whole full farm team, and I think they would be willing to do that. And they have so much money, the Giants, that is just not in, it's not being spent.
Yeah.
They have, like, if they get Soto, I think Judge comes back. We have almost a higher chance of him coming back to New York.
Yeah, I think the Giants are probably one of the biggest threats to steal Aaron Judge away.
I think they like Soto more, though.
Yeah, he's 23 years old, man. 23 years old. You can sign him for pretty much his whole career, and you get a bona fide Hall of Famer. He's a guy you build a statue of, pretty much.
Yep.
So it should be interesting, man. But this game was difficult to watch for sure. I mean, the only guys who showed up, Judge, he gets 2 for 4. Rizzo 2 for 4. Hicks 2 for 3. IKF 2 for 3, and then from there on, it's pretty much nobody else. Like there was no consistent production. The meat of the order, Torres, Carpenter, and Donaldson, all just abysmal tonight. If we're being honest, like especially Donaldson. I'm like really done with Donaldson. What kind of
error is that, man?
I'm really done with Donaldson.
Like I'm just saying, you take away the error and you take away the run from Abreu, and it's what, a tie ball game? That's 2 runs right there. It's 4-3.
Yeah, 4-3.
You give your team maybe a little bit more hope, you know?
Yeah. But it is what it is, man. I mean, the team just as a whole wasn't in it, you know? Like certain guys showed up, certain individuals, but unfortunately it was not a collective effort, as it were. And the boys, they fall short. They almost out-hit the Mets. They were out-hitting them for most of the game until that 8th inning, I believe. And then the Mets took the lead in the hits. 10 hits to 9. But again, none of the Yankee hits were timely. Again, 0 for 8, runners in scoring position. Total of 10 left on base. That's pretty unacceptable.
Yeah.
You're not gonna win against good teams when you go 0 for 8 and with runners in scoring position.
My biggest takeaway, I know, like I know Chapman, had a good inning, but Loaizaga and Ron coming back and having their good innings against a hot lineup this game, and already on fire lineup from facing Monty earlier. So I'm just happy that they did their job, and that's my one positive of that game.
Yeah, I mean the pen did a job for sure. I mean they locked it down. Just whatever with the Abreu. It is what it is. Yeah, it just sucks that it seems like they had a really good opportunity to win this game, and it's really just it falls on Monty more than anything. I mean, His loss. We expect way better out of you. You've done way better this season, and this was not the game to have an implosion, I'd say. Not because specifically the Subway Series. I wouldn't say specifically because of the Subway Series. I would just say because the momentum of the team is not looking good. Like, again, coming into this game, I very much had low expectations. I thought we're not winning the series, and I was hoping for a split. And then when we lost this game, I was pretty much like, oh, we're just getting swept.
Yep.
That's very much my mentality of this game.
Well, because the Yankees lost 6-3, and then we have Domingo Germán on the bump in game 2.
Yep.
You look at the stat line, and you think,
I didn't think he did bad. I didn't think he did that bad.
Okay, I was trying to build up the point to make it. I was trying to ease you into my explanation for him not doing bad. But I didn't think he did bad. I didn't think he did bad.
No, he don't do bad.
He don't do bad. Again, walks kill, home runs kill. What are you gonna do? It barely made it out of the yard, but I really don't care in this game. I knew we weren't gonna win this game no matter what. We were gonna figure out a way how to lose this game. Our offense did fine, in my opinion. It's a good Max Scherzer.
They were kind of hitting them hard. They just nothing was falling. Some high exit velo. Everyone except for Judge, of course. Judge got absolutely sunned by Max Scherzer. Max Scherzer was his dad.
Sombrero,
for sure. Right? He had a golden sombrero. He 3 strikeouts, 0 for 5.
I had to go to work today and listen to all the Yankee fans saying, "Oh, you want to win MVP? You can't go out there and get golden sombreroed by Max Scherzer and old Max Scherzer. You can't get golden sombrero." I'm like, dude, first of all, do you know how hard it is to hit a baseball? One.
Yeah.
It's Max Scherzer, all-time great, Hall of Famer, career, It's Max Scherzer. Mm-hmm. And MVPs have off days, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, this was by far his worst performance of the year, and he looked lost at the plate with Scherzer. up on the mound. Like, he did not look like he had an answer for anything Scherzer was throwing. And it wasn't like Scherzer. I don't think Scherzer was throwing anything lights out, by the way. I think he was very much hittable. I just think the boys were lifting everything up in the air.
They were off. They were off tonight.
Yeah, and I think the biggest problem was they were just letting, like, dude, he started everyone with that same little hanging slider. Just get me over strike. Nobody swung at it. Not one person. And it was so frustrating. It's like, I get it. First time through the order, whatever. Take that thing. Whatever. Second time, all right, dude, you should probably stop taking it, but I'll let you do your thing. Third time through the order, dude, stop taking it. Stop.
You know he's throwing it.
He's looping that thing right in there for you.
Midway through the second time, he had like a smile on his face. Like he's
like, guess what I'm going to start you guys off with? Like, at one point, he was throwing everyone the same exact way. There was no adjustment at all. Mm-hmm. And it was working because, we were just doing the same stupid shit. Yep. And, that was just really, really frustrating to watch. Mm-hmm. It's like every guy, same little get me over slider. And it was just like, oh, we're just going to watch that first strike. And it's like right there in your wheelhouse. Like, it's nothing like frustrating. No. And then he would wipe it out afterwards and they want to swing at that.
Yeah.
Which is infuriating.
To the hanging slider right down.
And the same story from game one. The boys go 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They get 7 hits, just not timely at all. The only person with a timely hit was Gleyber Torres with that 2-run shot, giving Yankee fans hope in the top of the 8th. That was a moonshot. I thought he was going to do something special. I didn't think it would be that. Peterson, is he a failed starter? Like, would you consider him a failed starter and now turned failed reliever, I guess?
I think he's failed in general.
Didn't look good.
Not that special.
No. Yeah. He almost soils Scherzer's magical night. His birthday. And luckily, they got a guy like Seth Lugo who can come in and pretty much pick up where Edwin Diaz left off in terms of being able to shut down the Yankees offensively.
Just like some of these pitches, I have seen some of the strike calls. I'll take it when it happens to me. So of course, same goes for you guys. But everyone was laughing at the Donaldson strikeout that he kind of fell. I'm like,
he buckled.
He buckled. Wasn't even close to a curveball that high in the zone. You're rarely getting that called a strike. Again, buckled. The umpire just finished him. I don't think Donaldson was going to do anything anyway in that situation. No. But it wasn't that filthy. And that's coming from a biased Yankee fan and also a former pitcher. I don't think that was that filthy.
Yeah, it didn't look that filthy for sure. It just very much looked like he thought he was going to get hit in the face. Like, he very much thought he lost control. By the way, Mets just acquired Tyler Naquin and left-handed pitcher Philip Deli, I guess, in exchange for 2 minor leaguers from the Reds.
Interesting. So
the Reds do sell 2 pieces.
Is Naquin doing good this year?
He's decent.
He's had his ups and downs.
Yeah. He's not. Did he? He didn't make the All-Star team. No, he didn't.
Who made the All? This Castillo, right?
Yeah.
India's having a down year, man.
He's looking really this year. Other than the series again where he was.
We are lagging here a little bit. We'll give us a hot second. We'll be right back with you. Hello, Murph. Are you there?
Am I back? Can you see me?
You're back.
Can you hear me? Okay, cool. Just say Jonathan India had a series against us of his life, apparently, where he's just swinging bunt and everything.
That's an interesting trade for the Mets.
Yeah, I mean, they need more outfield depth, and that kind of helps, and it's just another productive bat. Be interesting. I don't think they're done by any means. I think they're going to go out and try to add a little bit more. Hopefully the Yankees add a little bit more as well. And yeah, speaking of adding more after this game, they make the big move, man. They trade for Andrew Benintendi, all-star from the KC Royals, lefty left fielder.
Much
love it.
Needed. And Is he on a 1-year deal?
He is a rental, so he will be a free agent at the end of the season.
You think the Yankees re-sign him no matter what?
No matter what? No. Definitely not no matter what. Depends what he's like, what his market is, really. Just because the Yankees are going to have quite a few holes at the end of the season. They're going to need a starter for sure if they don't trade for one, because Jameson is a free agent. Judge, you got to imagine, unless there's a Soto trade, the expectation is to bring him in no matter what and re-sign him. That's going to take a lot of money.
Yep.
Chapman, Britton, all off the books. Green is technically off the books, I believe. It'd be interesting to see what they do with that.
So I don't want another Tommy Canley situation. Is he even playing in LA?
I think he is. I don't even know.
But I don't want a situation like that. I don't think we should do him like that, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I like Chad Green a lot. I think he's been really important to this team, important to this bullpen. So I'd love it if they brought him back on the min first year and then like a decent chunk of change for year 2, and hopefully he can prove himself kind of deal. And other news, good news for Michael King. It's not structural damage, so he won't need the dreaded TJ. He will be ready come spring training.
So he just
if everything goes.
Elbow.
Yeah, he just fractured his elbow. So good news on that front. But yeah, Andrew Benintendi joining the New York Yankees. And some interesting stats. I don't know if you saw this picture, but they posted a picture. So Andrew Benintendi has 111 hits this season.
Yep.
If we combine Joey Gallo and Aaron Hicks, they have 99 hits. He has 347 at-bats, so there are 489 at-bats. He's batting 320, and if you average out Gallo and Hicks, they're batting 204. He has a 785 OPS. They have a 674. So Benintendi is literally outproducing both our outfielders right now.
So not only are we getting screwed twice when we put them out there, now we are limiting the damage and only putting one of them out there and putting Andrew Benintendi out there.
And Hicks has actually been performing better as of late, although we don't like to say it because we're not Hicks fans in any means.
I still don't think he should be a part of this team.
I don't. Next year, please try to move him for a bag of baseballs. I don't care, man. Just get him off the team. I really don't like Aaron Hicks.
I like that money that he has for off the books.
Yeah, I don't know how you get rid of it, but you have to just get him off the team, man. I'm done with him. He just doesn't provide nearly enough production.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, huge addition in Andrew Benintendi. It cost us pretty much nothing. It cost us our number 19 prospect, TJ Sycamore. I think that's how you say it, Sycamore. Yep. Number 21, Beckway, and unranked Chandler Champagne. I think that's how you say it. TJ, the centerpiece of this package, he was a former 2019 first-round draft pick from the Angels comp pick. And he was a really good college pitcher, and he had some decent upside. He obviously lost 2020 because of the whole no minor league season. And then 21, he spent rehabbing the whole year because he had multiple injuries and surgeries. He's 24 years old, and he's pitching high A, but he's actually having a really good year. So we'll see. I mean, he could maybe pan out for the Royals, and I think that's what they're banking on in this deal. But yeah, he was never going to make this team.
Yeah.
At all. None of these guys were. So this is pretty much we got Benintendi for nothing type of deal.
Before we get to this next game, I'd like to still continue to talk about Benintendi. But there's other news that I don't know if you've seen the Angels news that we must talk about.
Don't think so. What's the Angels news?
We'll talk. We'll just continue to talk about Benintendi after.
Okay.
The Benintendi trade has me very hyped. Yeah. I know tonight he really didn't do anything. First game. What are you gonna do? Getting used to the Bronx crowd. Just kidding. He is used to it because he's played. He's been booed. He's a good player, man. He's a good player. I would not mind if, honestly, depending on how he plays and depending on what our team's looking like next year, I would not mind having him on our team going forward for like another 3 years, whatever it is, because he's a baller. Golden Spikes Award winner. all-star, Gold Glove, knows how to hit a baseball.
Yeah, and he just gives us a different approach, a lefty who can just slap the ball around the yard. He doesn't have much power. Hopefully that short porch kind of helps him boost his numbers a little bit, but honestly, I don't want him to change his approach at all. I want him to keep hitting a line drive, slapping the ball around the yard like he does, and just hopefully that just
home runs, man, like everyone else.
Yeah, it just gives us a different look, and that's all we need. He's a short king, 5'9", doing his thing out there, and hopefully he can keep doing it, man. I mean, it's an exciting addition, man, and the fact that they got him for nothing, it really gets me hopeful that they can just do other things.
We said we wanted him since the beginning. This was your guy. We got him, and we thought we were gonna have to give up the some of the bank for him. We still have a full bank to give, and we have what, 5 days left, 4 days left.
Yeah, 4, right? Is it 4? 5? 4. They have 4 days to keep making deals. It seems like the Yankees are aggressive in acquiring a front line starter. They want a good starter. They are in on Luis Castillo. They are in on Frankie Montas. They are in on Pablo Lopez, or not in, but interested in all these guys. I think they're actually in on Castillo. I think they've put in an aggressive offer. They're just waiting for the Reds to do something, agree, disagree, negotiate anything. Apparently, they're slowing it down. I cannot hear you. Can you talk?
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. That was weird. Yeah. So hopefully that gets figured out, and we can celebrate adding a frontline starter, man. I mean, we need it. This rotation is getting tested right now. Hopefully this previous start from like a guy like Nestor really woke him up. I saw good things out of Herman. So this wasn't like, now I don't have to just dread every time he walks up to the mound.
Yeah, because I saw his name slated, and I didn't even want to mention his name last podcast that he was pitching.
Yeah, it's just it was frustrating, man. I mean, like, what can you do? But hey, the Yankees do get swept this series.
What are you gonna do?
But again, this meant a lot more to the Mets fans than it did Yankees fans. Like, I think most Yankee fans looked at this series and we recognized we're in a really bad state. Like, this has been a rough month for the boys. They have been losing a lot of series. They got swept by the Astros. Damn near lost the series to the Orioles. Now they get swept by the Mets. Like, we were going down like flies, right? We lose Michael King. We lose Stan.
We lost Chapman for half the season already. We lost Weisga for half the season. We lost
Chad Green. We're losing some guys who are actually important to the team, and now our holes are getting exposed, our weaknesses, and and it's just like, and right now, if you look at this lineup, like, it's not big and bad like it used to be. Like, there's clear holes. Like, there's Rizzo. He's not been consistent enough, in my opinion. He's been getting on base, but just not consistent enough in the hitting department. Donaldson, he's pretty much been bad. Like, real. He's been bad. Matt Carpenter is looking like he's cooled off a bit. But we'll see. It could have been a bad series. Hopefully it's just a bad series.
He did get hits, though. Hits compared to some other people.
Yeah. I mean, we're still fielding a guy like Higgy. We still got Hicks, who's just like, I don't want to root for him, if I'm being honest. Like, I have to, because I need someone to be good in the outfield other than Aaron Judge and now Benintendi. So yeah, it should be interesting, and that whole dynamic's gonna be weird. By the way, it's gonna be interesting to see, does Hicks play right sometimes? Does Judge play center over Hicks? What happens when Stan comes back? There's gonna be some interesting questions they're gonna have to answer. I hear that for now, Judge is probably gonna DH a lot until they figure out what to do with Rizzo. I mean, not Rizzo, Gallo.
I think that's fair, and I think that's very good for Judge. He can just focus on himself, relax, occasionally go out there in center field. But for now, we need him, healthy down the line. And this is exactly what kind of support he needs out there in the outfield. He needs his rest days to stay healthy. Yep,
and hopefully, I wouldn't mind if the boys decide to make another play for another bat. But their priority right now is pitching. I just need another starter. I need a reliever. I need a big reliever, like a back rotation reliever, like a guy like D-Rob from the Cubs, he would be the perfect ideal fit, in my opinion.
Go get Hap and freaking D-Rod.
That would be interesting if they did go and get Hap. And that would beg the question, like, what does that lineup look like? Who is the fourth outfielder? What, like, the DH spot is probably permanently stands at that point. Like, I don't see how they rotate everything around.
So that DHing, he's may not be playing or in right field.
Yeah, it'd be interesting for sure. Because then, do you move Hicks to be the right, like the fourth outfielder, and is he coming off the bench? There's a lot of moving pieces. It should be interesting. Again, I am open to that idea. I like Ian Happ a lot, and I think he would add another really good, consistent bat to this lineup.
Just go get D-Rob at least,
Dude, go get Devers,
Fuck around, why not?
Dude, why not? Donaldson's been such a pain in the ass this season.
Yeah. Very disappointing.
Yeah, dude, it's like, all right, I didn't expect him to have, like, be him, like, back in the old days, like, 280 or anything like that, right? I was hoping around 245, 250, right? 250 is perfect number. With a couple bops, give me some bops, give me some RBIs. Dude, his age is showing at the plate because every time he swings, it pisses me off, dude. Like, it's just,
It doesn't look competitive.
It looks like he's lost.
What?
It looks like he's lost.
Yeah. He looks like he doesn't want to be there,
He's ready for retirement, man. His grade is showing.
May need to, yell at him again.
I don't know. It's not looking great. But yeah, the Yankees unfortunately get swept in this series. The Mets win the first edition of the Subway Series. They were having a blast. This was their bowl game. They've been waiting for this shit all year just to rub it in our faces. And yeah, they get bragging rights, man. I mean, cool. I mean, they did it. They beat us in their place. They walked us off. No real excuses. I mean, it sucks. You dodged our two better starters in the end of the day. Like, I expected better out of Monty, and we had plenty of opportunities to take these games given the staff and everything and the whole situation. So yeah, whatever,
man.
Now I will say more than likely this next series against them in the Bronx will probably carry a lot more weight for Yankee fans.
Yep.
Because it's going to look, hopefully, ideally, this will be a new revamped roster. And then there'll be, like, literally no excuses.
Yeah.
Literally, this is the best team we have. This is the final product we're throwing out there. If you beat these guys, then hats off, man. That's all I can say.
And that's all you can do is tip the cap,
I mean, I'm tipping the cap now, but it's just like, I didn't go into this with high expectations is the thing. I didn't go into this like, oh my God, I'm excited to watch the series. Like, I was like, I hope we take one. That's really my thought process. I was like, these boys don't look good. They look tired. Yeah.
The All-Star break was way too short for the Yankees.
Way too short, man. They needed that extra day. But Manfred robbed them, man. He robbed them.
Before we get to game one of the Kansas City Royals, because we will be going over that. And then, of course, when we do the KC Royals series, we'll touch on game one again. But there is news. I don't know if you saw it. Mike Trout. You hear about that?
No.
Mike Trout diagnosed with a rare back condition.
Oh, yeah. I did see that.
Vertebral dysfunction at the T5, which creates swelling. Sometimes a disc can slip out very easily. Swelling, they can rotate without him even doing anything simple. This is something that could be possibly career-ending. This could be another David Wright situation, except Mike Trout's a lot better than him. It's just true. He's Mike Trout. If he were to retire in the next year or so, he's a Hall of Famer, in my opinion. He's done it. He's done it every year that he's played. He's been in the MVP voting.
So what's his status now? Is he done?
He's been on the IL since July 12th. And there a lot of doctors are saying, oh, like, you guys are just, making headlines. Like, he could be fine. Like, this could just be something you live with. Mike Trout could just DH, which again, that could be a way around it. I don't know. I've read into this. It doesn't look good. It also looks like you could play, but again, you're playing at a very high level, and he works out a ton to maintain his level of play. So take the working out and take the playing every day. I don't know what's going to happen to him, but either way, man, Mike Trout up to this state in his career, he's had a Hall of Fame career, in my opinion.
Yeah, I have to agree. I don't think you could take anything away from him. You know, the only thing that hurts is that he didn't get any rings. And I think, you know, we've seen Hall of Famers in the past getting, you know, kind of bubble guys, you know, without the accolades necessarily. But I think he's got more than enough accolades to make up for it. He's been an MVP numerous times. I mean, when the dude's healthy, he should pretty much win it every year.
Yep.
He's just that good of a player. He's that big of a monster. It just sucks that, like, if he does have to hang it up, that he did it with kind of nothing to show, like no rings, man. That's what's frustrating to me.
It's like he just went out there and played pickup baseball every day.
Yeah, he really didn't play for much. He played for one playoff game in his career, which he lost. And that's frustrating to me. I mean, dude, he's a dude who should be on that big stage every year. It should be like literally teams coming up with ways to beat him. That's how it should be. It should feel like almost like LeBron and the Lakers, and like teams trying to come up with ways to beat them, or like the Golden State Warriors when they were good. But instead, it's just like, yeah, there's Mike Trout, and then everyone else around him sucks, you know?
Besides Ohtani, of course. But he's not going to be an Angel for much longer.
Yeah, they are fielding talks. I mean, it's kind of interesting. They're fielding trade talks. It makes sense in my opinion because I don't think Ohtani is going to extend. I don't think that gets done. Then this deadline, it's definitely going to be an off-season thing.
Yeah, it's going to be a winter meetings kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, because especially since they're asking for actual major leaguers. And if you're asking for major leaguers, you're pretty much like teams are going to have to field another team.
End of the season and see the finished product of some of the guys that they want. And, and guys that they know are already good, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that, I don't want to touch on the sad Mike Trout because baseball needs Mike Trout.
Does.
Game 1 in the Bronx versus the Royals. As I introed the video, the Yankees take the L train back to the Bronx. Very sad way. Doesn't help my depression on the Yankees. Yes, get Andrew help. Tell Cashman to trade someone. Jameson Taillon goes in the bump versus Brady Singer.
Dude, I was really impressed with Singer.
I've known this guy. I've been watching Singer since his Florida days. He's a very good pitcher.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of run on that sinker. 7 innings, 10 Ks. Taillon goes 6 innings, 8 Ks. But I was impressed with both of them.
Yeah, both starters really came out. This was definitely a pitcher's duel type of game. If you were looking for high octane offense, sorry. This was literally the worst game except for like the bottom of the ninth. This was the worst game to watch. The Yankees only get they only get 2 hits. They get 2 hits, and one of them, of course, coming from one Aaron Judge, a massive shot to walk it off late in the game.
39th home run on the year, dude.
39th on the year. But yeah, just the story of this game. Blanks all around for the boys. The only other person to record a hit was Gleyber Torres. Negative production from anybody in this lineup, which was Gallo with the golden sombrero.
The thing is, the whole team can go over, but he still has the worst.
He had to make it a point to be the worst out of everyone.
Okay, Benintendi, first game, you know.
Yeah, whatever. Hey.
Walked it up.
Real quick.
Let me go through the lineup.
Yeah, my bad.
Rizzo, 0 for 2. Torres, gets the hit. Fine. You did your job. Hicks, 0 for. Donaldson, 0 for 1K. Gonzalez, 0 for 2. He gets pitch hit for. Carpenter, 0 for 1K. 2 Ks for one. No Ks for left. No, sorry. 2 Ks for Trevino. I'm losing it here because I'm about
to get that back.
Gallo had 3 at-bats, and he struck out 3 times. He had to make it a point, as Murph said, to show I am not just bad at this game. I am shit at baseball.
Dude, his first at bat, he was 3-0. He had a 3-0 count his first at bat, and he came back in it to strike out. That was like
Mikey.
Boom, bro. Like that was crazy. That was crazy how bad he was to go from 3-0 to fucking 3 striking out. How is that possible?
Yep.
How? I don't get it.
Again,
he's abysmal, dude. He's terrible. This hasn't worked. Get him off the team, dude. Like if he doesn't get traded, he's getting DFA'd, man. For sure. You hear that? That was loud thunder on my part.
I was thinking, that's lightning.
That made my room rumble. That shit was scary.
I thought you dropped something and you were playing.
No, that was thunder, man. That was pretty good. Yeah.
That was a hot mic.
Yeah. That was loud. Anyways, Judgy, the only guy who really showed up for the boys. It sucks that it took a walk-off to beat these clowns. Like, and by the way, Yankee fans, Benintendi gets a week, man. Give him a week before you start saying anything to him.
Yep.
There's like, if people are complaining that he didn't get a hit by like the end of this series, I'm gonna be low key pretty pissed because it's like, dude, why? Give the dude some space. He's still adjusting.
Yep.
Give him some time.
He knows the AL East. He's been around it long enough. He'll be just fine for us for the rest of the way. We wanted this guy for a long time. We finally got him. And now let's go get ourselves a pitcher. Starter and a reliever. And then hopefully we somehow mess around and get an outfielder as well.
Yeah, if we can go out and get another bat, that'd be really cool. Peraza looks game ready, man. I mean, he's lighting it up in AAA right now.
We've been seeing so many damn highlights of him just getting hit.
Yeah, and it's like you could tell they're like, he's a really good trade piece, or like, hey, he can really come. Like, I don't know, dude. It just seems like if they don't have to trade him come the end of this deadline, which is a possibility, you never know.
Get rid of Gonzalez and call him up already.
You could very much see that. You could very much see a scenario happening like that. Or maybe they just DFA Gallo and call him up. Who knows?
Yeah.
I think why not? You know, especially since they've already shown they're not in love with IKF's at bats. Like they clearly something about it they just don't like. You know,
just the man has what you said a 15-game hit streak. The man's been actually driving in runs. I know we give him shit on the defensive end. I know we weren't the biggest fans of him, but no one's better. No one's worse than Joey Gallo, and you're putting him in. Over.
Yeah, you're pinch hitting him. You know, you're pitching IKF for Joey freaking Gallo, and it just shows like, yeah, they just really don't like IKF. They really don't like him. He's not what they were hoping he would be. Although he's still slapping the ball around a bit, man. I mean, he's way better than Hicks and Gallo.
Oh, yeah.
Way better than them.
No doubt.
But you could just tell they really don't, they're not high on him in any way, shape, or form. So it should be interesting to see what they decide to do. Still plenty of time to make moves. Need those moves to go down. Yeah, I mean, like you said, Jameson had a really good game one. Ron had a fantastic game with 2 innings of relief, 3 punchies. He's pitching to a 1.96 ERA on the year. That's phenomenal.
Not missing a beat, dude.
He's not missing a beat. He came back off the IL like nothing happened. Holmes, he records his 5th win of the year. He walks 2, kind of works himself into, but out of the jam this time as he records that win. He's pitching to a 1.20 on the year. Fantastic stuff out of Mr. Automatic himself.
I'm just proud of Ron.
Yeah, I think Ron really had himself a hell of a game, man. Like it was huge to see. Yeah, I need the offense to stop. I need it to be better. Hopefully tomorrow is much better.
Can't be having a 2-hit game, man. No.
Yeah, 2-hit game in the Bronx against the KC Royals is unacceptable. Yes, Singer he was having himself quite the night, but there's just no reason.
Career game. That's a career game out of him.
Yeah, like he's gonna remember this game for a while. This might be a huge momentum swinger for him, low key. Just like, hey, I blanked the Yankees. I held them to one hit, and I punched 10 of them tickets. So you never know.
Sure. Yeah. Fun thing for you to look at on the standings of the AL East as of today.
Oh.
It's very fun. I haven't seen this in a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
The Gutter Boys. The kids are starving. The Boston Red Sox are now a 500 ball club. Yeah. And the Orioles are officially above 500 at 50-49.
And above Boston, yeah.
I hadn't seen that. I don't remember the last time I've seen that, man.
This is kind of concerning for me because this means they're probably going to blow it up.
Yep.
They're probably going to blow it up. They're probably selling whoever's of value. I think the only exception will most likely be a guy like Bogarts. Mm-hmm. Since the MLPA and the MLB couldn't agree on the international draft, which is low-key huge for the Yankees because they love that international prospect pool. They sign all the top talent typically every year. They signed Rodrigo Rios. They signed Dominguez. They've signed a lot of top talent out of that pool. So, yeah, they expect them to keep doing that. So since they couldn't agree to that, the qualifying offer is back. And that means that teams can essentially extend a qualifying offer to a guy, knowing they will decline it. They will hit free agency, and they will get a comp pick in return, and that comp pick is usually really good. It's one of their other rounds. So, yeah, Boston will be doing that. Boston's going to blow it up, which is awesome for us. Boston will not be a pain in the ass, at least for a couple of years. Toronto slowly climbing up, taking advantage of some weak-ass schedules and beating a team like the KC Royals, who had to field a minor league team because of the whole vaccination status.
Yes.
KC had to set up 10 players. That's crazy.
A lot of guys made their debut.
And a lot of those guys stuck. And a lot of young guys on this KC Royals team. Should be interesting to see what they can do. Who knows? Maybe they just get scrappy and they kind of climb their way back up in the standings. Who knows? Or at least they'll win column,
They finally called up one of their top prospects, Nick Prado, pretty cool foundation supporter.
Yep.
He went yard, I think, a few days ago. And who else? Vinny Pasquanto, whatever his name.
Yep. Melendez, he's been up, and he's an interesting guy, man. He's a young athletic catcher. Leading off. That's crazy.
He's played left field for them this year.
Yeah.
And base.
And he can play center on here, what I heard on the broadcast. So that's pretty interesting, man. I mean, a multi-faceted guy. You're going to see – you might be the next wave, man.
They're making it out seem like Salvador Perez, dude, is like 40, dude. He's 32.
Yeah, 32, and he signed there for a long time. That's a really long contract.
Yeah.
Should be interesting if they decide to move him.
Yeah, because, again, like he had a year like last year, dude. Phenomenal year. 52 bombs. But then this year, not the hottest for him. I hope he does pick it up. I love me some Salvi action.
Yeah.
Murph, we have 4 days remaining. We're looking for those good players, those pitchers, those relievers, tons of combinations, tons of prospects to get rid of. Are you excited?
I am excited.
Hopes up.
Maybe both. Probably both. I'm really excited because I still think there's like so many possibilities to what they can do. Like I think this Benintendi move could literally just be the tip of the iceberg. Like they could literally go in and make some monster moves here that just blow everyone out of the water. I don't think like in previous years, whenever you've heard like the Yankees in on a guy like Soto, you would just be, oh, that's nothing. That's like no way that's happening. And it felt like this year, and it kind of still feels that way, that they're still like genuinely in it. Like they could genuinely swing a Soto if they really wanted to.
Yep.
I don't think they will at this point because I do think they still want to go out and get a frontline starter, and I imagine now it's going to cost a few good pieces that would have gone in the Soto deal. It should be interesting to see what they decide to give up in like a Luis Castillo trade. I'd imagine it's looking like a Peraza, probably a Waldichuk. Maybe it's just a Waldichuk. I don't know. I don't know what that package looks like. I'm thinking at least 4 really decent prospects, maybe 5.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they ask for. Yeah. So I am really excited to see. Maybe I am getting my hopes up. Maybe we'll end up with like a bunch of meh pieces that.
I heard Pablo Lopez too.
I heard that as well. I'm okay with that as well. He's been having a phenomenal season. Another rental, so he will be a free agent.
It's another pitcher that the AL East has not seen.
Yeah, and I think he's been having a really good year, and I think why not? Yeah, he's just as effective as the other starters we've mentioned. I think right now, if we were to list them, it'd probably go Luis, in my opinion, Luis Castillo. It'd go Frankie Montas, and then probably Pablo for me.
Yep. But I'm cool with literally any of them.
I'm cool with any of them. It'd be insane if they got 2 of them. You know, how crazy would that be? If
they're still in on both. You know, like this. Yeah. I've heard rumors that the Yankees are saying that if they get one, they could possibly go out and grab another one. You know, just because.
Yeah, and that would help their rotation thing, their bullpen stuff as well, because they could just always shove Sevy back in the pen. They shove Herman back in there.
Sevy in the pen is nasty. He did it. Have you heard any progress on Sevy? Is he like throwing again, or?
I think he's still shut down because I think he was supposed to be shut down for some like 20 days, something ridiculous like that. He was shut down for a bit because it is a lat strain. He will probably start a throwing program, you would think, next week at some point.
Mid next week, probably.
Hopefully. Because if he doesn't, then you got to think he's not coming back till late August, which is kind of problematic.
Not enough to make postseason roster, maybe, or
it kind of sketchy, especially if you're trying to bank on him coming back. Like if you don't land a top line starter, you're banking on him to come back. That's scary. That's the scary part for me is if you don't make appropriate move. Yeah, and they're also in on Jose Quintana. He doesn't move the needle for me. He's more of an innings eater type of dude. I could see them trading for a guy like Castillo and then adding a guy like Quintana to eat innings. I'm hoping that would be the move. If they were to go out and get Jose Quintana from the Pirates and be like, this is our starter, I would be like, I hate you. I hate you with everything.
You better fix it like Clay Holmes.
Yeah, like, dude, you better be like every other Pirate starter. Oh, wait, he didn't get drafted by them. So who cares?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Not that he's horrible, but he's not what they need.
Not at all what they need. Going forward, Murph. We have two more games right against the Royals, so we reconvene this on Sunday or Monday.
Is it 2 more? Is it 4?
Is it 2 or is it 4?
It's 3 more. Yeah, they play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Friday, Saturday. Awesome.
And then they go play Seattle. Well, they don't go. Seattle comes to us, and we play Seattle.
Very winnable games. Very, very winnable games.
They're a decent team, so it'd be interesting to see if, hopefully, by then the revamped roster can go at these guys.
They are beatable, though, Seattle. Very beatable.
Yeah, they're beatable as is. You're just hoping by then we're kind of in our final form in terms of moves, that is.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, Murph, on this Thursday night in New York, the Yankees are victorious. Praise God. We are back. I think we go out. We win the rest. We win the series.
We're back. You really think we're back after 2 hits?
You have mutually.
Mutually.
Murph and I are back.
There you go.
With the New York W.
Yeah.
We have 3 more games. Let's go win a series, and then let's go on to Seattle and show them which coast is better. But Murph, thank you for joining me today. Thank you all for watching. If you're new to the stream, subscribe. Let's go Yankees.
Let's go Yankees. Hopefully. I would say hopefully we wake up with a trade, but like I don't think that's gonna happen. So let's just like hope by the end of the week there's a trade.
Hopefully in 4 days we have at least another trade to talk about.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. We will see you all soon.